hope it hurts, 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 hurts. And I just hope it hurts, 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 hurts. And I just hope it hurts, 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 hurts. And I just hope it hurts, 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 hurts. I'm ready to converse, predicting a verdict. I know what you're trying to say, you don't know how to word it. I know what you're gonna say till the facts you're allergic. I like what you said there, did you have to rehearse it? Such a canned response. Who's the GOAT now? The victory's talking, let me give you the lowdown. You ain't as sweet, I'm calling shots from the low ground. My source is concrete, like LeBron in the post now. The time's arrived to reply. You're looking for my opinion, I will gladly oblige. Cause when the verdict comes in and speculation subsides, we just let the people decide. And I just hope it hurts, 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 hurts. And I just hope it hurts, 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 hurts.
Good, bro.
What's going on, man?
Another day, another dollar.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
I was looking forward to today, man, for us to go ahead and pop in this little quick segment. Everybody go enjoy this one, man. I don't even want to waste no time. I want to dive right into this because it's so juicy. Like
Man.
it was just, man, basically from the jump, what we said was we want to come with something different, like, and constantly get better with each segment that we put out. And this, what we doing on this one, man, this going to be a brief one, a short one. It's simply strictly focusing on NBA, the top players that was never the top players. So basically, guys who didn't make the NBA's top 50 players all time, guys who were underappreciated, underrated, anything like that, they gets to make this list. This gonna be a good one, man. I know you excited about it. What you thinking, man?
Oh, I love it. This is your idea, man. This is a great one. You know I love top threes and top fives, bro, because it's endless. The categories we can come up with are just endless, dog.
Man, we gonna dive right into it then. We're gonna start off with some honorable mentions, man. I'll give you a couple, man. You can give me a couple of yours, but like,
yeah, don't give me all of them. Give me like 2 or 3, then I'll go.
I got you, bro. So, I started off, I had to pay some respect to a couple of legends who never quite became one of those top players, or, not somebody that you think of when you list in your top 50 or even 100. Guys like Bernard King or Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley, I don't think people remember, the Bad Boys became a different squad when they got their hands on him. That was the guy that put them over the top.
Yes.
Look, Bernard King averaged 22 and 5 across 16 years. Adrian Dantley, 24 and 5 across 14 years. This man averaged 24 and 5 and don't get talked about. And he's a champion, 2-time champion, pushed the Bad Boys over the top. And he played D on Jordan. Like he wasn't the most successful because not too many people gonna be successful, but he was in Jordan's ass giving that Jordan fits. Jordan figured it out, still wasn't enough to beat him. I definitely had to put Adrian Dantley on there, man. That's 2 of my honorable mentions. Who you got, man?
I'm mad you brought up Bernard King, man, because I had him on my list. And then, the reason why I put Bernard on there, man, is people don't understand how good of a scorer this man really was. He was the original Carmelo Anthony, man. Like, if you go back and you watch, Bernard King back in the day, all he did was shoot pull-up jumpers over and over, and you couldn't stop it. Led the league in scoring, another one I got, man, Mookie Blaylock. People forget how good Mookie was, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Mookie Blaylock for Atlanta Hawks. As of now, he's still 11 and all-time steals leader.
Okay, I see you with that one. All right, I got 2 for you. 2 that's a little more recent, not super recent or anything like that. Stevie Franchise. Steve Francis.
Break
Yeah.
it down.
I know you forgot about him. My man averaged 18, 5, and 6 across 9 years, man. Stevie franchise came into the game. Everybody wanted to wear number 1. He made the Rockets jersey popular. Nobody was rocking the Rockets jersey before him, man. He came into the game and changed it. And then I got one for you that's gonna shock you. My man couldn't score worth a damn, but somehow his impact was unforgettable. The most memorable hair of all time to step on the court. Ben Wallace.
Okay. Ben Wallace in the Hall of Fame, man. All right. Okay.
Man, look, you look at any list. Ben Wallace don't even crack the top 100, bro. My man couldn't score for shit.
Didn't need to.
He couldn't make a free throw or nothing. But check out his stats. This is his career stat average, man. 5 and 9.
That sounds awful. How you got somebody averaging 5 and 9? But I know his impact, so I agree.
Exactly. His impact was legendary, bro. And then he averaged 1.3 steals and 1.3 steals and two blocks a game, man.
Wasn't he Defensive Player of the Year 3 times?
Defensive Player of the Year twice. Look, man, my man Ben Wallace was the most impactful, non-impactful player I've ever seen in my life. Hey, the big ugly dude, but for some reason his impact is unforgettable, man. 5 and 9, Hall of Fame. Gotta make it.
5 and 9.
He ain't even averaged 2 rebounds, bro.
Yeah, come on, Ben Wallace, bro. You could at least average 10, 15 rebounds. You wasn't scoring. God damn. That's
5 and
9
on
the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Give me 2 honorable mentions you coming.
I got 2 more. Michael Cooper. He's another one. Awful stats. My man averaged 8.9 points, 4.2 rebounds for his career. But if you go back and you watch the Lakers in the 80s, you know how impactful Coop was on the wing running with Magic. So, and he got 8 defensive team years in his career, 8 times. So I got Michael Cooper. Another one, I'll give you DJ. Dennis Johnson, point guard for the Celtics.
Okay.
Hella
I respect it.
Hella underrated, man. They always talk about Bird, McHale, and Parrish, but really they had a big 4 with DJ. So all those championships, they won with Dennis Johnson as the point guard. He was running the show.
I respect that. That's a good one. Look, I got 3 more honorable mentions. I'm going to rattle them off to you real quick, man. So my man changed the culture for black people forever. Okay. Latrell. Hey, he averaged 18, 4, and 4, but he had everybody riding spinners. They made songs about this man.
Remember the Dadas, man?
The Dada Supremes. My man, he had the designs of the braids in the head before anybody else. My man Latrell Sprewell was headbutting refs and coming out with trends at the same time. Definitely had to put Latrell Sprewell on there. Then I got the entire Fab 5. Even Juwan Howard, bum ass.
The entire Fab 5. Come on, man.
Hey, even like Jalen, all them, they all made my list. But my last one, man, we all got to give this man praise. Everybody got to respect him. He ain't do a damn thing all season, every year. Robert Horry.
I knew he was going to say that. Yeah.
Hey, the man is a legend. He ain't do shit all year, every year. For playoff time, he missed the buckets, clutch. He gonna average 7 points. He's gonna be 2 threes and a free throw every time.
In the last 2 minutes of the damn game.
In the last 2 minutes, bro. Mr. Clutch, Mr. Buckets. Went around. Hey, he got more rings than Jordan, man. my man collected rings throughout his career. Hey, you got to put him on that list. That's my last one. Go ahead and drop yours before we dive in.
Man, I'll give you 2 of them. Since you said Sprewell, I immediately went to Allen Houston. Allen Houston was a beast for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Like for about 4 or 5 years right there. He was one of the best shooting guards in the league.
Yeah.
You know, and this one, it really doesn't count for this list, but we never talk about him. And he is top 50. Everybody knows it. He's probably top 30, maybe even top 20. But Dominique Wilkins, man. I'm shouting out Dominique Wilkins because he averaged like 20, he averaged 24.7 for his career. But we don't talk about him. And you know why? Because he had to play against Michael Jordan, dog. That's the only reason we don't talk about Dominique Wilkins more often. He was Vince Carter way before Vince Carter came into the league. That's another good one, but I ain't gonna speak on Vince right now. But I just want to give a shout out to Dominique Wilkins, man. We can get into our top 5 now.
All right, man. So we're going to start off with number 5, man. My number 5, I got to pay respects to him. I talked about him a little bit last time. My man only played 6 seasons in the NBA. 6 seasons. Brandon Roy. Before the injuries, my man was averaging 22, 5, and 4. But the 22, believe me, can quickly turn it to 40. He would light your ass up. He was shooting half-court threes before anybody. And wet no.
Half-court.
And wet no.
Come on, man.
My man be pulling up from all over, get to the rim finisher. I hate that his knees was terrible for him, but my number 5 player all time, underappreciated, that second tier that nobody think about, Brandon Roy. Only 6 years, he gonna always be that what if guy for me. Who you got for number 5?
Kevin Johnson, KJ, for the Phoenix Suns, point guard.
Okay.
Yeah, that man was a beast. He got 1 season averaging over 20 and 12. He's got 4 seasons averaging over 20 and 10. But one thing that people don't talk about, they always say, well, Charles Barkley didn't have another superstar with him with the Suns when they made it to the finals. That's not true. Kevin Johnson was a superstar at the time. And not only that, Kevin Johnson took the Suns to the Western Conference Finals twice, 89 and 1990, way before Charles Barkley even got there. So big shout out to Kevin Johnson. He's more than just that dunk on Hakeem Olajuwon. I know that's what most of y'all only know. He was way better than that.
Okay. I respect that one, man. Go ahead and give me your number 4. I'm gonna give you mine after you.
Nah, you go.
Oh, okay, cool. Number 4 for me, my man he changed the way black people view white people in sports. Now check his stats first. He only averaged 10 and 6 for his career.
That sounds awful.
But boy, it sounds awful, don't it? Until you hear the name, then you can be like, hey, that was a badass boy. White chocolate, Jason Williams. Hey, it sounds awful. It don't sound awful.
It sounds great now. That's a bad boy right there.
10 and 6 is all he averaged for his career, but boy, it was the prettiest 10 and 6 you was gonna ever see. Jason Williams was the first white player that black players was looking at like, I want to do what he did. Larry Bird, all those guys, they got respect, but he got imitators. Like cats wanted to be like Jason Williams, bro. White chocolate was sick with it, creating no-look passes nobody had ever seen before.
Yo,
he played street ball in NBA games. What up?
Yeah. My man threw passes off his elbow. He was the first to do that. Jason Williams, man.
Hey, Jason Williams changed the game, bro. He brought street ball into the NBA game, and nobody had ever seen that happen before. Not to that magnitude, and he killed it with it. 10 and 6 was the prettiest 10 and 6 you ever seen. Go ahead. Who you got for number 4?
Bob Pettit.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Pettit?
Yeah. Now look,
I'm low-key jealous.
I know he's already a top 50 player, but he's so far, it's old, like 50s and 60s, that nobody talks about him. He should be. Nobody talks about him anymore, but I want to talk about him real quick. I know that the game was different. All stats were inflated back then, but still, my man averaged 26 and 16 for his career.
Yes.
And in an age where you got Bill Russell around, the Celtics, you got Will Chamberlain running around. He won a championship with the St. Louis Hawks at the time. So big shout out to Bob Pettit. 26 and 16 for a career.
Yes. Yes. I'm a little jealous. I ain't even think to mention it because I know he's not. He didn't get knocked out. So respect to that one. I definitely got to respect that one. I got a number 3 for you. And, I'm going to say his stats first because it don't even come close to telling the story. Even though the stats ain't bad at all. 17, 4, and 3 for his career. Now, when you hear that.
What position he play? I kind of want to guess what you got, man.
I ain't going to tell you because you might guess it. But look, when you hear those stats, you think, that's solid. He's a decent player, which is why he made this list. Because he's always going to be looked at as a guy who was very fun to watch, but was never quite as good as everyone else. My man, Vince Carter. Number 3 on my list is Vince Carter, the human highlight reel.
Okay.
He's never going to crack the top 50 players all time. He's never going to be someone
I don't know about that.
He's not. Because for one,
I think
it's too late. He's still playing, but he ain't about to do nothing to change no minds if he ain't did it already.
Yeah.
That's back. And then you got all these young guys that's coming up. Giannis, if he keep playing, he gonna crack it. So it's guys that's jumping him as we speak, and he's never gonna be able to get in there. Now, everybody respects him as a dunker, but I don't think people respected him overall. The reason why he made this list, point blank period, is not because of his dunks, even though he's legendary for that. It's because what he did after his dunks. See, the problem with a lot of guys that go to the NBA is they come in super athletic, but when that athleticism wear off, they career flame out. My man said, I'm about to learn how to shoot threes. and he changed his game completely, bro. Yeah. Adjusted the times. And then because of that, that man is about to be 41 still playing because he adjusted so well and was able to keep playing at a high enough level. Team still keep him around at 41. Got to put Vince Carter on there. A legend for the dunks, but a greater legend for the ability to adjust and make changes to his game. Who you got?
My man averaged 12 and 6 for his career. But when I say his name, you're going to be like, yeah, that's a good one, man. Cedric Cornbread Maxwell. Nobody talks about Cedric Maxwell. Another Celtic, man. Another Celtic. I don't think people understand how loaded the Celtics were, man. The first championship they won, he's the finals MVP. He's probably got the least respected or least known finals MVP besides Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
So Cedric Maxwell, man, I don't have too much to say about him, but that's all you need to know.
The respect finals MVP. Yeah. Hey, low-key, I'm gonna give you some props. Your top 3, your bottom 3 so far. Salute. You came with some gems. Okay, I see.
Man, this the NBA talk, man.
I see you with the gems. I got a gem for you too, though. My man here, he averaged 19, 3, and 7, plus 1.5 steals a game for his career. My man was a straight baller. But when you talk about guys who are classic and everybody enjoyed watching play, his name don't come up. And I think people forgot that he existed until his name gets mentioned. He's that guy when you in the barbershop and somebody be like, but what about? And the whole barbershop be like, oh, that's who he is. Because he was respected in the hoods across America. Stephon Marbury, number 2 for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Stephon Marbury, bro, 19, 3, and 7. My man, you know what? Not only was he a great player who never got the full recognition that he deserved playing on some sorry-ass teams, but he also is a legend because he was the first guy to get the check no matter what. My man sat on the bench for a year and got paid, and then went to China and got paid again. Legend for that. Making $20 million sitting on the bench for a year because he said, forget this. He said, it's not worth my health. It's not worth it at all. My man he the first one that got the check no matter what. Cashed out on the Knicks. I got to respect it. Everyone got to respect it. And again, his stat line ain't nothing to scoff at. 19, 3, and 7. He wasn't no chump. That's a bad boy right there. Who you got for number 2?
Oh, yeah. Nah, I'm gonna touch on Stephon Marbury. He was a beast, dog. Do you remember
Yes.
that time when he was courtside at the Lakers game and he was a Knick at the time and was getting
Yes.
paid?
Yes.
Oh my God. That's amazing, man. Shout out to Stephon Marbury. I like that one, man. But number 2, he only averaged 14 and 6. But when I say his name, you're gonna be like, hell yeah. He's definitely on this list, man. One of my favorite players, Rasheed
I knew it.
Wallace. Rasheed Wallace. 100%. 100% real. My man bought his forces out of Foot Locker, man, and played in them, dog, with the tail hanging out. Didn't even tie him up. He was part of the Detroit Pistons when they beat the Lakers, man, and they all said, if you ask all the interviews, Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton, another good one, Rip Hamilton. But man, they said when they got Rasheed, that's what vaulted them to a championship that season.
Yeah.
Rasheed Wallace.
My
Big
man,
shooting threes, unstoppable. When he decided I'm gonna get buckets tonight, you couldn't stop him.
you know what? Rasheed had everybody rocking forces.
Hell yeah, high tops, man.
If you wasn't rocking forces back then, man, something was wrong with you. I remember high school; everybody had their Rasheed Wallace jerseys with the forces on. Oh yes, the patch was a instant classic. The way he impacted the coach. See, that's what I love about this list, man. It's more than just what they did on the court, man. We got different type of impacts with this list, man. This, my number one. I went back and forth on this, and I actually took my original number one off. I ain't even mentioned him in the honorable mentions because I'm gonna mention him afterwards. But my number one, before I tell you the name, obviously I'm gonna give you the stats because I don't think people even realize like that's it. That's what his stats was because he's somebody that gets respected, but he still ain't viewed in that upper echelon. You know what I'm saying?
I hope you don't say mine. I hope you don't say mine.
I ain't no worry. 19, 5, and 4 is what my man's averaged.
Okay, good.
And he was a straight up beast. But like so many guys on this list and your list and list all across the world, injuries sapped his career. It happens way too often. But my man was a killer. 6'8", 6'9", beast.
I already knew. I already know.
You already know.
Yeah,
all you had to do was hear the hype.
That's how I should have known. That's one of your favorite players.
Mine too, though. Tracy McGrady.
T-Mac.
Tracy McGrady is my number one. I'm going to tell you who I had at number one before this. I actually had Tracy McGrady at number 2. I was paying respect to somebody else. But Tracy McGrady, man. Tracy McGrady, I don't even have enough words to explain how dope this man was. If it wasn't for injuries, there's no question Tracy McGrady would be ranked as one of the top 20 greatest players of all time. The man was just that cold with it, and he took some of everybody's game and made his own. He had dunking similar to his cousin Vince Carter. He had some handles and trick passes and stuff similar to Jason Williams. He had shots similar to Jordan. He had all this stuff blended into one game. But above all that, of everybody I listed today, my man was the best defender of everybody I talked about. Yes. Man, this man gave Kobe fits. He's the one player Kobe talks about all the time. Yeah. He was so cold. I don't think people understand how good Tracy McGrady was. And that's why I say when you hear his career average, it's misleading because the tail end of that career really drained his stats. But my man averaged 19, 5, and 4. If not for that tail end where the injuries piled up and he playing for the Spurs and all this other stuff, he's a 25, 5, and 7 guy. Like my man he's a beast, and I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of his career. Go ahead with your number one.
I just want to tell you, I love your number one. It was predictable, but I still love it, man.
You was on the fence. You wasn't sure if I was gonna go there.
I wasn't, because for me, to me, T-Mac is automatic top 50. Shit, he's top
for
30.
He's top
30 for me. Okay. In his prime, yo, we'll talk about that another day, man. But he wasn't nothing but a 6'9" Kobe. He could do everything Kobe could do, but he was taller. You know what I'm saying? And Kobe said it himself. That was my most difficult matchup.
Yeah.
And it took him, it really, the only reason Kobe ended up being better is longevity. Other than that, Shaq and Pau Gasol, better organization, better coach. Good number one, man. But my number one, let me give you this man's stats because it's beyond misleading, and he never had great stats. But his impact, again, 15 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups is
Yep,
my
I knew
number
you was
one.
gonna go there. I
Yo,
knew he would be on there.
that Pistons team got a load of them. Shit, we mentioned 3. You can easily put Rip and Tayshaun in there too.
Yeah.
But Chauncey Billups, the reason why I got Chauncey Billups number one, I couldn't think of any team in NBA history that if you swapped out point guards and Chauncey was the point, that they wouldn't win a championship with Chauncey. Chauncey Billups was that good, man. And people don't understand he's not scoring. It's just like when Denver traded Allen Iverson for Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups has more impact than what Allen Iverson's points were doing. Because not only does Chauncey give you leadership, discipline, good 3-ball, good scoring, consistency, running the offense, he's always been one of the top defenders in the league. And he's clutch. He's one of the first NBA players that started to pull up 3 on the fast break. That was Chauncey Billups, man. And you knew it was money. It's pulling off from anywhere. Chauncey Billups is my number one. And not to mention, he knocked off that Lakers squad with Shaq and Kobe, man. That's one of the greatest finals upsets of all time. When you look back, it really is not an upset. But back then, we didn't know
It was.
Yeah, back then
Yeah,
it was.
back then it was.
Right.
You know what? I respect that pick. I actually thought I would have already heard him come up for you. I didn't pick Chauncey Billups because I 100% in the pit of my soul knew you would. Like, I didn't know he was going to be your number one, but I knew he was going to crack your top 5.
I love Chauncey, man.
I looked at it for a minute. I was like, I know he's going to take this one, so I'm going to let it go. But I thought about it. But real quick, man, before we get out of here, I decided to take him off my list because I felt like this man deserved his own brief little second of time. And without him, I don't believe there's a dynasty. He helped create a dynasty, but he never gets talked about. He never gets talked about. Maybe because he was white and unathletic or wet. I don't know what it is. But my man only averaged for his career 13, 3, and 3. You hear those numbers and you just like, that's it? But Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that. Yeah.
Manu Ginobili deserves so much love. And the reason I took him off the list is because I feel like he don't even need to be on this list. This man truly needs to be in everybody's top 30, 40 players of all time. Because without Manu, I don't think people really understand. Yeah, you had Tim Duncan and you had David Robinson at the very beginning and you had Tony Parker and all this other stuff and, of course, Pop. But Manu Ginobili he brought an energy and a clutchness, and he always made some type of play, whether it was on the offensive end or defensive. It was always something that he did to cause a spark in either a run, to make a late game bucket, to force a late game turnover. Always something. The most timely player I've seen in a long time. I mean, Manu Ginobili. Look, it ain't like he turned his game up in the playoffs. He averaged 13 and 3 for his career. His career playoff average is 14, 4, and 4. He averaged one more across the board. He went from 13, 3, and 3 to 14, 4, and 4. But Ginobili, I do not believe there is a Spurs dynasty if Ginobili is not there. He does not get enough love. When you talk about the love that Tim Duncan got, and it's warranted for them. But when you talk about the love that Tim Duncan got and Tony Parker and all these other guys, this man does not get enough love. He should be talked about the same way they's talked about. He may not be as the stat sheet stuffer that they are, but the man's impact cannot be denied.
All right, man. Look, I beyond agree with that one. Because you think about it, for about a decade, it was Kobe, D-Wade, Manu as the top shooting guard for about a decade.
Yeah.
So, and he was clutch, man. I'll give you last one. I'll give you one last one before we get up out of here. Because a lot of people don't understand how good he was. Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell was the man, dog. And when he first came into the league with the Rockets, he was a rookie when they won them championships.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a key cog in them getting past the Knicks in that 94 series. So Sam Cassell, man, he was also an all-star for a few years. He was on that team with
and he became a hell of a coach.
Hell of a coach, man. Sam Cassell.
Man, I love this list, man. We're going to definitely have to do more like this. This was a good list. The top fives of whatever. We're gonna definitely have to drum out a couple more of these. There's so many names we could have said. We ain't even mention guys like Penny Hardaway or John Starks, Gary Payton. Like, it's so many guys we could have named.
Hey, Grandmama. Larry Johnson.
Grandmama. It's a whole lot of guys we could have named, man. We could have named some of the little guys like the big Van Exels and Muggsy Bowles of the world who really created
Robinson.
I was just about to say created a window for a guy like Nate Robinson to come in. You know, a guy like Isaiah Thomas to come in. Those look guys created that, but they ain't talking about it that platform. But hey, they was ballers, man. So it's so many names we ain't mentioned, but that's why these lists are dope, because you get to do so many different things with them. This is fun. Definitely gonna do some more of these. We're gonna hit y'all with some classic ones, man. You got anything before we get out of here?
Penny Hardaway, man. God damn.
Didn't mention.
Oh my goodness.
Look,
I didn't forget about him. I just didn't want to do it today because there's so many of them. But yeah, Penny Hardaway.
It's so many of them. But hey, that's all we got this time. We might do another one of these where we mix it up a little bit more. We might go to biggest bums of all time. Who knows?
You know what? You know what I was thinking about just now? Because his name just came in my head, man. I'm not gonna tell you now, but top 5 most overrated running backs.
Yep.
I know who my number 1 is.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good. We're going to pump these lists out, man. Definitely going to have a whole lot more for y'all. That's all we got today. We're going to holler at y'all some more with the March Madness and everything coming up. We out. Peace.
All right, bro.
Yep.